Alright, so yeah, this is a video I was not expecting to make today at all. I woke up, I was looking at, Patreon to see what the people had voted on for the Samurai Spotlight for today. And all over Twitter I was seeing posts for this Netflix series, Age of Samurai Battle for Japan. Now, I had heard that Netflix was making a samurai-themed show at some point. I didn't know when it was going to be released. I just had seen articles, I had read a few things, but I didn't actually know when they were going to get around to doing it. And then all of a sudden today, here we go. I start seeing all these posts that there's a trailer out and that it's going to be coming out. I think by the end of the month, they're going to actually have the release of it. I actually already watched the trailer, but I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on it. It has a lot of interesting things I think it'd be important to talk about, and you may want to hear my thoughts on it. There have already been some other reaction videos to it. Japan at War did a reaction to it as well, and I do recommend that you go check that out too, and I'll be leaving a link to it in the description because I do think you should go check out not only that video, but his channel. He has a very good samurai history channel as well. So, with that said, we're going to dive in here. I haven't done these reaction videos before, so it's going to be kind of different. I have the green screen up, but I don't know if I'm going to be actually using it or not. This is kind of a very hastily put together video because I wasn't expecting to do this today, but I figured I should do this because I wasn't going to actually be releasing a normal video this week. The video I worked on this time around was actually for another project that you will hear about more in the future. If you're on Patreon, I have talked about it a little bit and you do know kind of what I worked on this week. But yeah, otherwise, you weren't going to be getting a regular video this week, but because this trailer's out for this Age of Samurai, I figured, yeah, let's do a reaction video and see what it looks like. So with that said, let's dive in and analyze Age of Samurai Battle for Japan. How does it look? Oh, and I will be pausing and stopping frequently throughout this because obviously this is a reaction video and I want to give my thoughts. So if you get annoyed by all the frequent stopping, it probably isn't the video for you. Weirdly enough though, this video is not, you can find like a weird Russian subtitled version of the trailer for this on YouTube, but interestingly enough, the actual regular trailer for it is only available on Netflix. I don't understand the marketing or reasoning behind that. It seems like they're trying to kind of keep it a little bit a secret, oddly enough. Like it sounds like it's going to be releasing very soon on Netflix. I don't understand why there's not more buzz for it, why they're not putting the trailer out more front and center. Maybe they're going to be doing that in the next few days or so. Who knows? And interestingly enough, I'm going to be using that Russian one because for some reason my recording software won't capture the version that is posted on Netflix. So you will be seeing some Cyrillic, some Russian subtitles down there. So yeah, thank you to the channel Land FM for uploading their version of this trailer to YouTube so we can actually show you in the corner of this video what the actual trailer for Age of Samurai looks like. Alright, so here we go.
1551. Japan is in chaos. Anarchy reigns as heavily armed warlords fight for power and territory.
In the Sengoku period, there were no more rules.
Okay, I can already say I like the gritty approach, gritty tone to it. Normally, with more recent samurai productions, a lot more colorful. I do like the more grounded approach to this. It would have been a very ugly atmosphere in samurai warfare. The one thing that I can't figure out just yet is it seems like it's going to be more of like a docu-series or whatever, where there's going to be, professors and other experts on there talking about the period and whatnot. So it is interesting to see it's going to be like that and not more of like a standard drama or taiga drama. I know, I don't know if it's the same thing, but some of the articles I was seeing back when this was announced was comparing this to the Japanese Game of Thrones, they were calling it. I don't know if this is the same thing they're talking about, but if it's the docu-series like this, it's not going to be at all like a Japanese Game of Thrones. But it is interesting to see that they're going to be doing it this way, although I would love to have seen them take a different approach on it, to have done something a little bit more wild and interesting, because this kind of approach they're doing, you see it with, I think like the Smithsonian Productions did this series like this, or a video like this, it's a kind of a very overused style of format of these history series to have these experts come on and talk while showing, of course, these reproductions of battles and whatnot. I just think they could have gone a little bit more interesting and taken a better or unseen style with this, but who knows?
This was all-out battle for control of Japan.
Looks pretty violent. That's good.
You have the men who are going to shape the destiny of Japan coming together.
Going back to the battle scene. So looking at the armor, I saw a few people on my Discord talking a little bit about it, but it doesn't look bad. I don't think there's some questionable things. I think there's some, or what was it? I'm not able to find it now. It doesn't look bad in my opinion. It looks fine for the period and what it is. I'm sure if you were to, I don't know, go frame by frame, you could pick it apart, but it's passable. Definitely. Why is he not wearing a helmet? There's minor, things you're gonna obviously see because it's not. They want to show obviously. Oh, he's the more important individual. He's not wearing a helmet. He's not wearing a face mask. Obviously, he's the main character we're showing off. Yeah, that's obvious. It's a trope, no matter where you look in these kind of things.
Oda Nobunaga.
That is a very interesting look for Nobunaga. I have never seen. Wow. I mean, I've seen depictions of him with like flowing hair and whatnot, but dude looks wild there. I'm interested to see what their take on Nobunaga is. Yeah.
Toyotomi Hideyoshi.
Hang on. I have never seen Hideyoshi depicted as a fighter, unless you're talking about Samurai Warriors games, but that's different. I have never seen Hideyoshi depicted as this frontline soldier tearing dudes apart. That is... I don't understand why they would do that. Even when Hideyoshi was an Ashigaru, he was not necessarily a frontline soldier. Like, he was a sandal bearer for Nobunaga. He was more of a, correspondent. He wasn't the frontline soldier. There's no, at least that as far as I know, there's really no evidence to prove that he was fighting on the front line like this, no matter which point in his career we're talking about. Obviously, he wouldn't have been necessarily fighting on the front line like that when he was a general. Yeah, this seems a bit of a ridiculous take for Hideyoshi. I don't understand it. Hopefully, they'll try to get more into that in the series. Masamune is one of the 4 great unifiers, apparently. I didn't realize that Japan had 4 great unifiers. I only know the 3, so that's news to me.
And Tokugawa Ieyasu.
Let's see that depiction of Ieyasu. Okay, that's a good. I like that depiction of Ieyasu. This is in the 1550s, so he would have been still, on the younger side. He wouldn't have been his old self we usually see. I like that. I can dig that.
Samurai combat is more brutal than anyone can imagine.
I like that. I'm glad they're pointing that out. It was incredibly brutal. And if you watch my video where I talk about what did a samurai battlefield look like, spot on. That it was crazy. I think it gets downplayed and it gets overglorified, but it would have been a bloodbath. That is a nice depiction of Masamune. When I think of Masamune, obviously, I think the image that often gets in my head is the one of Ken Watanabe. But that looks like a good Masamune. I'm interested to see what they mean by him being such a huge central figure, because Masamune is one of the more glorified individuals or figures of the period. People so often put him so highly on a pedestal. I think they do it a little bit too much. Everyone loves Masamune, and I think that he gets over romanticized. Sorry if you're a Masamune fan.
Assassins, spies, and agents were not to be trifled with.
Okay, so they're trying to go for another ninja vibe here. At least they're not wearing all black. That's good. This is one of the more realistic depictions of a shinobi you probably see, as far as I know, at least. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, this guy he's killing doesn't look like it's some high priority target or anything, because once again, we kind of debunked the fact that ninjas weren't really assassins. So he's probably just doing some kind of, espionage or scouting or something. It would probably make sense for him to take out these samurai in the forest here, for whatever reason they're trying to depict it. What was that? Hang on. What is he doing? That looks so. I have no words for whatever that is. Whatever.
These are the greatest warriors history's ever known.
Okay, one thing I'm seeing is a lot of katana fighting. Once again, the katana was not the main melee weapon of the period. The yari spear was. Of course, you would still have, you would have still had katanas being used, but to the extent they're showing it seems a little bit excessive. It was more of a, backup, if anything. Or if you were an expert and you wanted to show off your prowess, that's another reason you would see someone wielding a katana.
Were now set in motion for the most decisive struggle for power in the whole of Japanese history. The real battle for Japan was about to begin.
I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm probably making another video about it once I watch it all. But when you hear hype about a show like this coming out, and you hear people talking about, oh, it's going to be the Japanese Game of Thrones or whatever they said, you expect something much grander, much larger scale. Say, when I think of what I would like to have seen. And you think of, Game of Thrones, and, I think the best battle scene in Game of Thrones was the Battle of the Bastards. That's the kind of stuff I wish you would be seeing from a Japanese Game of Thrones. Just huge battle sequences. And once again, we're getting these fight scenes that are just like little small encounters in the forest. And they're going to probably label that as some bigger encounter or bigger skirmish. I have yet to see, are they going to show it off as some bigger fight? I mean, like right here, you have some larger fight scene going on there. I see Oda banners. I don't know what they're trying to depict here. If this is maybe when they're invading into Owari, or if that's later when Ieyasu is already under the service of Nobunaga. We shall see. But it's just these productions seem so small scale, and it bums me out because I'd really just love to see a massive depiction. And you see that with a lot of, medieval European, themed shows. They do get the funding or whatever to put in a lot more CGI or, put a lot more extras in. You do see it. So it's kind of a bummer that when, one comes out that's samurai themed, it doesn't necessarily probably get the funding it would have need to be on par with stuff like that. This seems very, what's the word? Manufactured. It doesn't feel like it was done. It's like someone had the idea, hey, let's put out a series that, follows the samurai, but then they didn't have, the ability to necessarily portray it in a unique or new manner. They're kind of following a style that's already been done a million times. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to probably find out just how factual they are going to be. It sounds like they have some experts on board. Obviously, we're going to be talking about it, but there's been times that experts have come on before, and their own words have been maybe edited or misconstrued, or even just plain wrong, because the narrative of the film or documentary is trying to portray things in a certain light. We've seen it done with the ninja. We've seen it done with other documentaries. It's just there's stereotypes and images that people want to keep as what they're trying to depict when they may in fact be false and wrong. This definitely seems like it's going to take a little bit of an approach that's more like a romanticization of the period, and not like it's going to be an actual faithful just depiction of what it would have actually have been like. The best part of it is when that guy says,
Samurai combat is more brutal than anyone can imagine.
That's the best line in this entire thing, and I applaud them for addressing that, and I hope they dive deeper into that. Overall, I'm intrigued. I look forward to it. I am interested in how it plays out. It's going to obviously be the story of the three unifiers and additionally Date Masamune, because I guess we can't escape Date Masamune and his pop culture appeal, because everyone loves Date Masamune. Yeah, it seems a little bit run-of-the-mill. It could be great. This trailer doesn't make it seem like anything more fascinating than what, we've already seen before. I was hoping for something a little bit more, I don't know, different. But, yeah. So once again, this is Age of Samurai Battle for Japan. It's coming out, I believe, on the 24th. I could be wrong. I think that's the date I saw when it hits. At least here in the US, that's when it's coming out. So keep an eye out for it. New samurai show hitting Netflix. Yeah, I'll be back to talk about it some more once it's all out and once we can watch it all in its full glory. So yeah, this is your video for the week. It's a bit different, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it to be most interesting and informative. See you guys again very soon.